Yes, 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 yes.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Raw Review. I am AI, and this is Raw Review, and next to me is the world famous
Mr. SeaWorld.
How you doing, Mr. SeaWorld?
I am doing great, Jimmy.
I am not Jimmy.
Yes, you are, Jimmy. This is Jimmy. Say hello to Jimmy.
I am not Jimmy. But there is a reference to Jimmy in this new episode of Raw. So if you don't know what we're doing, this is Raw Review, where we review the Raw of the week, and then we take video footage from the latest game, WWE 2016, and we try to put together the Raw as best we can, the show. Mm-hmm. Because of copyright issues, we can't actually show footage. So we said, hey, let's give it a shot and do this. So that's what we're doing.
So, this Raw, it starts out with, if you didn't know, Daniel Bryan, earlier, like the other day, he tweeted out that he was retiring. He suffered a brain injury, and he can't compete anymore. And it started out with a Daniel Bryan tribute, which was very heartfelt and made me sad.
So earlier in the day, Mr. SeaWorld said something was going to happen on Raw, and he didn't want to tell me. He's like, don't look at Twitter. Don't do anything. You'll see when it happens. And the first thing they show, like he said, was a tribute to Daniel Bryan, and I knew exactly what was going on. And so all through Raw, I don't know if we're going to hit on this, but all through Raw, they just keep on showing memories of Daniel Bryan throughout the show, which was, I think that's when I faded out of wrestling world, so I knew who he was, and when I knew when he came in through NXT, when NXT was actually just a TV show special right after Raw, and they took like 8 or 10 new guys, and that's where Nexus came from, that's where Barrett came from, and that is what I knew of Daniel Bryan. I knew he was a good indie guy, and I knew that he had a lot of respect in the locker room. And then I know later on he came out with the Yes movement and the No movement, and that is pretty much... So I'm going to have to go back and watch some of Daniel Bryan's matches, because I missed like the last 2 years.
Yeah, we're definitely going to do that later. But the video packages, they all touched on like his partnership with Kane, when that was a thing, and he was like, I'm the tag team champion. No, I'm the tag team champion. And then, what was it? It was him in his WrestleMania wins? Yeah, I think it was wins.
Yeah, he got it twice.
Yeah. They left out the part where I think it was Randy Orton that cashed in on him and then beat him for obvious reasons. And then the last big thing that I can remember them touching on was Connor from Connor's Cure, Connor the Crusher.
Yeah, he mentioned him in the final,
yeah,
which we'll talk about a little bit later about this. I mean, we all knew it was coming. I mean, it was just kind of like they were trying to build up the whole show. I mean, they didn't make it a secret that that's what was going on when they started the show. So that's what was going on. So besides all that, they kind of start off with the tribute, one of the many tributes that they're gonna spread around the show. So it starts off with the actual show. After that, actual show starts off again with Stephanie McMahon.
Ooh, fun. Her again.
Yeah, I thought last week it was cool that they didn't have her finally. It was like the first... last week was the first time they didn't use the McMahons right off the bat. And I was like, this is so interesting.
What they do besides the McMahons last time? I forget.
I forget who it was. I have to look it up. But I knew they weren't out there, and I was like, yeah, I made a note of it last week. But she comes out, and I think I think they kind of know that everybody's kind of sick of them talking, because she starts to talk and do her little squinty thing with her nose. Everyone noticed that her nose kind of squints up like that. But
she squints her nose better than Rey from the new Star Wars can grit her teeth.
I haven't seen it. Shut up.
Yes, you have. You've seen her grit her teeth.
No, I haven't.
I know you've seen that.
I have not.
You've seen...
No, I haven't.
Have you seen her at all being angry?
No. No, I have not.
Well, she can grit her teeth like a pro.
Well...
And now you will notice it every time.
Okay. Well, let's get back to the show. Anyway, so Stephanie McMahon comes out there and starts... they're setting up the match for... Fastlane. And so the triple threat match, Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Brock Lesnar, supposed to be the big contract signing. They're supposed to make a big deal about it, like they always try to. And I just call these time wasters. I don't really know why they did it, but there was a purpose for this one. Dean Ambrose comes out, interrupts her almost immediately. She gets mad and she's like, "I'm the boss, blah blah blah. You can't get interrupted." And then Roman comes out. He's like, "What's the deal? Let's get this over with." And then she's like, getting even madder. And then Brock comes out, and then she's like, gives up. She has everybody sign, and then once they sign, she's like, "I'm out of here.
Bye."
I've never seen her leave so quick. She just grabbed the stuff. "I'm gone. See ya.
Have fun."
And so once she leaves,
Brock happens.
He pretty much Dean gets right up in his face and says, "I want a piece of you," and F5 table on Roman Reigns, and walks out. And that was kind of how they.
It wasn't even like one of their standard like break through this tables.
No, I thought that was a marble table at first.
So did I.
I'm looking at it.
Wasn't?
No, it wasn't. It had like a cloth, but it looked like, I thought, did he just hit him with like an actual desk? Because it didn't look like a normal table that they use. But it had like, once I flipped it over, it had like this covering on it. So I was like, oh, okay. But I thought he hit Roman Reigns with a marble tabletop. I'm like, that would hurt.
That would hurt a little.
Yeah, so that happened.
Then Triple H came out, and I forgot what he did.
Yeah, because Stephanie McMahon went right on the top of the stairs, and he just kind of came out. "I have the belt."
Grrr. And then I went backstage a little bit later after commercial break, and it was like Dean backstage talking to Roman. He's like, "Tonight, one way or another, I'm gonna get my hands on Lesnar."
So through the theme of the show now is Ambrose wants a piece of Brock, even though he just got his butt kicked by him. And he's like, "I don't care." So
I was kind of disappointed by this whole storyline though, because like it was like, I was kind of hoping to be like all Raw. It'd be like Dean backstage like trying to get to Paul Heyman or Brock, or he's always like trying to, but in the end he just calls him out. So
yeah, that was weird. But anyway, so that actually brings us up to the first match.
Okay, so we start out our first match of the night. Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler.
How many matches of this? This is about the third one this year?
Yeah, it's their third match. Well, maybe not. I think it's the third. But you know what? They put on really good matches every single time, and they're always good.
Yeah, Kevin Owens is continuing his, like, slapping things out of people's hands and just being really destructive and frustrated. It seems like that he doesn't quite know how to control himself after a match, even when he wins.
I don't know who Kevin's in a feud with now. I think it's Ziggler. It's got to be Ziggler now. He like had a kind of feud with Neville. He just got done with Ambrose, and he's like Ziggler.
I think the commentator said he revisited this feud. I don't know how he worded it, but that they're starting to feud again. It kind of insinuated that those two are going to go at it for a minute.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be till Fastlane. They're gonna like do that stuff, and I don't know. What do you think Kevin Owens is gonna do at WrestleMania? Because he's gonna be there. He's gonna be there.
Is there like a ladder match or anything at WrestleMania?
There's a Andre the Giant Battle Royale.
Might be part of that.
No, he's
a bigger guy.
Yeah, but not all big guys have to win it. I mean,
it's the Andre the Giant one.
I know, but there was a smaller guy that won it. I remember that.
Cesaro?
I don't remember who
Cesaro?
it was. Cesaro did win it.
He was the first one.
Then it was
I know that.
big
I remember watching it.
And then
so that Kevin and Ziggler match, it was a good match.
Yes.
It was entertaining. Those guys can work a match really well. I think the most memorable thing I can think of right now is at the end where Kevin Owens went and he was yelling. No, know what though? Kevin Owens was talking trash this whole match. It was funny. He was like yelling at Cole, "Shut up, Cole! Nobody likes you." And like in the middle of about to do a power bomb, he like stops to yell at Cole, and he just kept on like saying, "How's that look? You guys see this? Yup. Okay, good." I mean, I was like, what is going on? But it was entertaining watching him do those little things, and then at the end he just kind of goes up to Cole's like iPad and just beats the crap out of him for no reason. I was like, did he just break his iPad? I think that's a thing now. I'm like, if that was really my phone or my iPad, I would be pissed. If it wasn't a company thing, I would be like, I'm pissed, man. You need to pay for that.
Yeah.
But that was the match, and I rate it a good B plus A.
There was that part. Remember where Owens, he was in a sleeper hold, right? And what he did to get out of it, he couldn't get out of it, so he just ran through the middle rope and like turned and landed backwards so Dolph would hit the apron, and that was really cool. Like,
wasn't that during commercial break?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought he was in a sleeper right before commercial break.
Maybe it was. I don't know.
Yeah, and then they replayed it, I think.
It was good though. I know they replayed it because it was awesome.
Right. So that match happened. Who won that match?
Ziggler.
Ziggler. That's why he was mad.
No. Okay.
Was that a count out?
No. The ending was perfect. Like, Owens went for his cannonball move.
Right.
And, you know, the cannonball was in the corner.
Yep.
See? And
but
he
to the
moved out. No. Oh, yeah. They're in the corner. And he moved out of the way. And then he, like, he pinned him. And then he put his feet on the ropes.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Right. It was a dirty pin.
Yeah.
It was a dirty pin. He didn't see it. I remember that now. Yeah, he was in the corner, and he had the leverage on him. Then he quick went up on the corner. He was in the corner, so he jumped up on the second rope and got the leverage on him. And the refs like looking at the 1, 2, 3, and then I was like, oh, that was good. That was good. And then JR or JBL was all mad. He's like,
oh my gosh, a heel lost. What the heck?
You guys think that's cheating? That's cheating, guys. You don't think that's cheating?
But it was.
And then a heel does it. And he's like, oh, he's just playing smart, you know.
Yeah, you gotta be smart.
You gotta be smart. The ref doesn't see it. You gotta do it.
Right. But I can't believe I remember more about that match than I thought I did. But that happened, and then like Ziggler won. That was good. People popped on that one. Then the Usos backstage was the next segment, and the Dudleys come up and said, they announced that there's going to be a tables match against New Day. So it's the Usos against New Day.
In a tables match. This is weird setup.
And so then the Dudleys come up to him and say, hey, you can't, tables match is kind of our thing. So wouldn't it be great if, like, we were against them? And then the Usos like, you know what? We know, but this is our match. And so, what if we joined together against the New Day and we took them out? And they like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. That
This is
sounds
a good
like
plan.
Good plan. And I was like, oh, I'm in. I'm totally in on this. I was like, okay, this is going to be cool. I want to see this. So I was, okay, sold. This is going to be hilarious. It's going to be fun. And what did we say, Xavier? Like, is he actually going to wrestle?
Yeah. Like, he has not done his finishing Lost in the Woods. I doubt, like, anyone even remembers his freaking finishing move.
I sure don't, because I've never seen it.
Because he never does it, because he never wrestles, and when he does, he just gets beat up.
Yeah, so they said, we'll go get this approved.
He should win once. Just once.
So they went off to get that approved. And then Ryback had a little video.
Yeah, that was weird. Like,
so they had a match? Ryback versus Bray Wyatt had a match?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. So next... Yeah. You don't need to take notes on that. So up next, the next match that's coming up would be Ryback versus Bray Wyatt.
Yeah. Alright, so it doesn't actually go into Bray Wyatt versus Ryback. My bad. It was actually setting up. It was my bad in the notes. It was setting up for Bray Wyatt versus Ryback. What it actually goes into after a video package for Ryback, confusingly enough. Why was that a thing? I don't know. But it went into Charlotte versus Alicia Fox.
Whoa. That's all you need to know.
Charlotte won. I know that much.
Whoa.
Surprise, surprise. I'm sorry.
Anyway.
I'm sorry, people that actually care. But I
just don't. Just don't. Bathroom break.
Like, it's a Divas jobber match. It's not really going to be that interesting.
So,
I mean,
up after that, what the most entertaining thing was Ms. TV. So let's talk about Ms. TV.
The most must-see talk show in the world, in WWE, whatever he calls it.
With his guest.
Y2J, the Ayatollah of rock and roller, Chris Jericho. Wow, that is fun to say.
That's probably why he says it.
I would.
Isn't he the best at what he does?
He is the best in the world at what I do.
I seen a DVD, and he said he always says that, and he goes, "What I do, I have no idea." He's never specific of what he does, but whatever it is,
he's the best in the world at it.
Best at it. And I agree with him because he is very good. So I'm watching this, and I go, his guest is Y2J, and Miz is coming out doing his Miz TV, and I went to Mr. Shield and I said, doesn't Jericho have his show too? And he goes, and then what did you say to me?
He's like, yeah, the highlight reel.
I was like, yeah. I was like, that'd be funny if he just like turned it into a highlight reel. And guess what happens?
He turned it into the highlight reel.
I was like, what?
Okay, so he comes out there and it's like, yeah, Chris Jericho or whatever.
No, the Miz was talking. Remember?
Yeah, he was like, blah blah blah. I'm the Miz. Blah blah blah. AJ Styles. Blah blah blah. Man, hey, Batman. And
break the walls down.
And he comes out. He's like, Miz, will you please shut the up? And then he's like, blah, you know,
gets a good pop for that
Chris Jericho stuff. And then he's like, this talk show is boring. Why don't we bring out the actual best talk show in WWE, the highlight reel? And then he like gets guys and he like
all right,
rolls out the carpet.
Let's strike the stage and then
get this cheap carpet out of here.
And I told Mr. Shield, I was like, I don't think this has ever happened before, ever.
Imagine if the Piper's Pit turned into the Stone Cold podcast.
Or Chris Jericho had one, didn't he? Peeps. He had something with this.
Christian. You're thinking of Christian.
Christian, what did I say? Chris Jericho?
Yeah.
No, yeah. Christian, he had one.
The Peep Show.
The Peep Show.
That's what it was.
Yeah, just imagine that they switching it up, and I'm like,
or the red
I'm sitting there laughing my head off. Oh, and So he gets it. He goes. Miz is like, they get it all set up and they bring down the LCD TV. They said that's worth a ton of money. I'm like,
dude, Geritron.
The Geritron. They're like, that thing's worth a lot of money. That's like a $300 TV, man. Flat screen you can buy at Walmart. Probably $200. And I'm sitting there going, what? What is going on? And Miz is mad now. So Miz is like, this is not right. And then he's like,
you're right, Chris. You're right, Miz. This isn't right. Where's my potted plant?
He said, "Who gave you?" I told you to take notes on this. Who gave him the pot and who gave him the plant?
I don't take notes on this. I just remembered. Dean Ambrose gave him the pot, and
the plant was hideous looking.
And Roman Reigns gave him the stool.
the stool to put the plant on, and I'm like, really? He goes, from my friends Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose, and I'm looking at that potted plant, and I'm like, look at that thing. That thing is ugly and all get out. That is the ugliest potted plant I've ever seen.
That seems like it would come from wherever Dean Ambrose lives.
Outside his asylum.
Yeah, outside the Ambrose asylum is like
and the swamp behind the asylum. I'm like, what is that?
Right next to the Wyatt
So I'm just cracking up with that part. And then Miz is like in a fizz, and I was like, so they show. He goes, we need a real good highlight reel, and so I guess on SmackDown, he went against AJ Styles. Miz did, and AJ knocked one of his teeth out.
Yeah,
I mean, knocked it right out. And they were like, watch this. And he's like, I had to get dental surgery, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that's awesome.
Celebrity dentists.
And it played into his persona of being like so absorbed about himself, and that somebody would like ruin his face. And he goes, this face is worth $5,000 or whatever. But that was great.
And then he was like, do you really think they don't want us, or something like that? Or like, what would they do if I were gone? Do you really think this show would be better? And like, yes.
And yes.
I forgot what he said actually, but it was something like that.
And then you look stupid chance because of the tooth. You look stupid. And then they start doing that. And then I think I give Miz major props on this comeback. And even on Twitter, somebody even quoted it. He goes, I'm not Sheamus. I can't look stupid. I was like, good comeback. That was good. He goes, I'm not Sheamus. So that was good. That was good. Jab at Sheamus.
Then we go.
So that's when we walked into the yes chamber.
Yeah. And then Miz was like, well, Chris Jericho, or just Chris, I'm sorry. He says, I wasn't the only one that was lost to AJ Styles, now was I? What did they say on the highlight reel? Hit it, monkeys. And then
monkeys in the trunk.
Yeah.
Truck.
And then they show Jericho versus Styles,
where Jericho lost.
And they're like, yeah, I bet it's eating you alive. And Jericho's like, yeah, it is.
And so they're gonna have a rematch on SmackDown. Now I'm gonna have to start watching SmackDown.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna review it. I'm not gonna do another show on SmackDown, but they are actually. I mean, Miz's teeth got knocked out on SmackDown.
They're like putting a bunch of like little things that you don't want to miss on SmackDown.
And most of the time they're showing, when you watch SmackDown, you're watching rerun, or half of the show is showing what happened on Raw. But now they're showing what's happening on SmackDown.
On Raw.
On Raw. So they haven't done that in a long time.
They're pushing this. Like,
so I might have to check this out. So after all, they're fighting about them getting beat up by AJ Styles, or their matches with AJ Styles. Who comes out?
AJ Styles. And
what is it? The phenomenal one?
the phenomenal one.
Okay, I said that right now.
Yes.
Phenomenal one. So he comes out, and I was like, are we going to hear him talk? Nah, we're going to hear him. We're going to watch him talk with his fist. So he just comes out, gets in it with Miz, then he gets in it with Jericho. Jericho falls out, and then Jericho's going to jump back in, and he's like, nah, that's smarter than that. So,
yeah.
and then so
remember, Jericho and
Pose.
Styles
style pose for the
teamed
camera.
up on the Miz. Remember that? They like both ganged up on the Miz.
Oh yeah, they did, and then Styles went after him.
Yeah.
So that's setting up for SmackDown, which we might check out.
The Styles glove pose.
Then after that, we set up for Ryback and Bray Wyatt.
Yeah. Okay, so our next match is Bray Wyatt versus Ryback.
Now it is.
Yeah. So Ryback comes out. He's got his new attire on. He's got a brand new attire, which looks suspiciously like another big guy that seemed to demolish people with a move that he hangs someone above his head, and a move where he runs at him with full speed and attacks him with some sort of strike or tackle.
They were actually chanting that in the crowd, and I was like, are they chanting Goldberg? Because they sound like they're chanting Goldberg. Or is it just me? And I asked Mr. Sewell, and he said, yes, they are.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that's cool. I dig it. If you haven't known, I'm a big WCW fan. So anything that's referring to WCW.
There's a big prediction going on right now that Ryback versus Goldberg at WrestleMania is the thing that's going to happen.
Oh, that would be awesome. That would be so sweet. Make that happen. Oh. I might actually watch the WrestleMania.
Might actually.
I didn't watch last year's. I haven't watched it. But anyway,
Really?
So this was a match.
Oh wait, Ryback. Let's talk about his attire for a second. He's got like a belt on, like on his trunks.
Uh-huh.
And I've never seen that before on anyone. Like it's trunks and a belt.
Is it like a weight belt?
Yeah, well, something like that.
Like for lifting weights?
No, it's just like a belt, but it's like it's got a big buckle on it, and it's like.
Yeah, they use them for weightlifting.
Well, it looks cool. I'm sorry, I just need to point that out because I liked it. It like made him not Goldberg, kind of, but still Goldberg.
He looks like Goldberg.
He's Goldberg.
He's Goldberg 2.0. Everybody here has been here before.
Except
So
for,
that match
Bray
happens.
Wyatt.
It goes good for a minute, and then actually didn't Ryback actually win?
Ryback did not win.
Okay, I thought he did. And then afterwards,
It's weird
they beat him
because
up.
he got a video package for him.
So Wyatt's won. It didn't really matter, and they just proceeded to the.
Let's talk about the match for a second.
There was nothing to talk about.
There's a little bit to talk about.
All right, talk about the match.
Okay, so it was a really good match. Surprisingly for Ryback, actually, because he's known for like not having like being good with long matches. Because that's why he has a lot of squash matches, because he has a hard time working a longer match. Or so I hear. And, yeah, he gets distracted by just, like, the Wyatt family standing out there. They don't even do anything, right? And
Correct.
And he just looks at them, he's like, no. And he gets down from the bottom rope, and then he gets caught by Wyatt. And there was a point where, like, he had Wyatt down, right? And he's going for the meat hook clothesline. It was like, feed me more. Feed me more. And he went running at him, and he gets caught by the Sister Abigail, which looked amazing.
Oh, yeah, it was like really quick.
Yeah. It was like, catch.
Out. Done.
1, 2, 3. I was like, hashtag push Bray Wyatt and Goldberg at the same time. This is a good idea now. It wasn't the first time.
So after the match, they proceeded to do what the Wyatts do and beat the crap out of this guy. They all did like some kind of finisher and just left them.
They did the just clothesline, like the Eric Rowan kick thing, and the sleeper hold.
Okay, so
Fair
after
enough.
that match happened, then the fun part of the show begins. The show New Day,
Yes.
working on a table. They do a little clip with him.
Working on the table.
They're like rubbing the table. And
Working
and
on
then
the table.
Kofi's got glasses on with a level, and he's like, and then
Working
Xavier Woods is
on the
like busting the
table.
calculator. He goes, I calculate that if you hit them right about here, you'll do the maximum damage.
Working on the table.
And then one of the interviewers come up and ask him who their third guy was.
Working
and they
wait. Okay, so if you didn't notice, Usos.
Oh yeah. We gotta get this in.
Usos and Dudley's. I forgot their names for a second.
What?
Those are 4 guys, and New Day is 3 guys, so they need a 4th guy. And
Where's
yeah.
your picks?
It's after
Where'd you put them?
right there, because that's when we start talking about.
Okay, so they need a 4th guy. So me and Mr. Steel are going back and forth. And I'm like, okay, who do you think is gonna be their 4th guy? So we're racking our brains and stuff, and I said Tyler Breeze.
Tyler Breeze.
That was one of my choices, or Big Show.
Mm-hmm.
I said Tyler Breeze because he's just not doing anything, and he's kind of flamboyant, and I could see him dancing around with New Day.
I really couldn't, because he's really egotistical. You don't know his character at all. Okay, so
I could see him dancing.
I couldn't.
I could.
But
And then Big Show because they need a big guy.
yeah, and he does whatever anyone tells him to, basically. And then I said my guesses were, okay, this was just a wild guess, basically to try and bring hope to me. Daniel Bryan.
He thought it was all a ruse, and
I know. I didn't think it was. I prayed it was.
he was hoping that this is all.
I was
I'm gonna
like,
do one more match.
they've got. Okay, so I was just like, oh wait, they got Mr. Guy and Daniel Bryan, please. Nope.
Then we thought, what about Rusev? Because everybody else seems to be hurt in the League of Nations. He's a big guy.
Yeah.
Because we figured they're gonna go after a big guy.
Or Daniel Bryan.
And then my mind was blown. I go, Goldust. Goldust, perfect. And he's just. I could see New Day just. He's like. Because he's trying to get R-Truth to be his tag team partner.
R-Truth, watch this. Look how good of a partner I could be. That should have happened.
And I was like, Goldust. And we're trying to think of who else was left on the roster that wasn't part of a stable or anything that could join it. So that was our guesses.
Who was it actually? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
What the heck is Dragon Ball Z?
And by that, I mean you're going to have to wait more. Matches.
So
time.
at that point of the Raw, we got in a discussion about who that was going to be. So after that happened, then we come up with our next match, which will be Titus O'Neil versus Adam Rose.
With Social Outcast. That's important. Hey there, baby. Welcome to Titus O'Neil and Adam Rose going one-on-one in the squared circle with the Radical Mongoose.
The Radical Mongoose.
Yes, words. Okay, I'm done.
So the next match would be Titus O'Neil versus Adam Rose, and I'm sitting there thinking, when Titus O'Neil came out, we were like, who's he gonna fight? Because he's been Goldust and he did Tyler Breeze.
I was like, Tyler Breeze again. Fix your mistake.
Nope. Adam Rose. I said,
I'm used to
this is even better.
under the gun.
I said, this is even better. get Social Outcasts out there doing something. Adam Rose, I'm like, yes. And I was like hyped for this for some reason because Mr. SeaWorld likes these guys so much that I'm like, okay.
It's because they're amazing.
And they're funny. And like I said, the two parts I look forward to now is Social Outcast
New Day segment.
New Day segment and Social Outcast. So those are the two highlights of comedy I look for on Raw now. And here they come, and they do not disappoint.
So they never do. So now we got the Red Dragon and Heath Slater and the Radical Mongoose in Adam Rose.
No, he said, "I'm the Radical Mongoose," and then
Axel.
Curtis Axel said, "You just call yourself the Radical Mongoose?" And he goes, "No, the universe did."
I did not name myself the Radical Mongoose. The universe did.
And so Mr. SeaWorld hasn't seen this yet, and he's got to go see it. There's Snoop Dogg narrating wildlife where these mongoose go after an alligator, and they beat up an alligator.
What?
Yes, and then Snoop's like, "I don't. What are those mongoose? Whoa, look at them!" And they chase off an alligator, and it's hilarious. So you got to check it out. So it gives you a little perspective of why they were referring to Titus O'Neil as an alligator.
Except that's been his gimmick for like ever.
So, but it works because
Yeah.
of that clip from Snoop Dogg. You got to look it up. Look it up on YouTube, guys.
Heath Slater and
Snoop Dogg commentating about wildlife is hilarious.
Heath Slater and Titus O'Neil used to be a tag team. Slatergator.
Slatergator?
That was a thing once.
So anyway, this match happens, and I'm sitting there going, Adam Rose needs to win this. He's gonna win this, and it's gonna be hilarious if he does.
Wait, we forgot about Bo Dallas. His three best friends.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh no, because he goes, "The universe brought me my three best friends."
And they're just like, okay. And he's just like, you know what? Best friends make best trends, huh, guys?
And then they go, and you can see Curtis Axel just kind of like putting up with these guys, and then he goes, "Yeah, that was pretty good." And then they turn around and they go, "Now trending," which sucks because then I don't have a new shirt that I have to go find for the game. I don't know if I'm going to or not, but they keep changing their shirts just to sell shirts,
mug shots, and they
yeah.
just
I think they're gonna
it.
stick with a.
I want all of this merch
now trending one on the back.
because that's like the.
I like the hashtag Social Outcast one the best.
That's
I
like
think,
their Titan John thing.
yeah, that one, that logo.
Yeah. And then, oh man, I love these guys so much. So Adam Rose gets in the match, and he's actually like winning.
Doing good. He like started going after his kneecap.
I don't know.
Yeah, he did. He started going after his kneecap, and he started kicking. I'm like, whoa, he's taking him out at the knees.
Yeah.
And I was like, is this gonna happen? Is this gonna happen in Distraction?
Wait. And then like Adam Rose.
We don't have to do
well.
a play-by-play, but
I do. And then Adam Rose like doing good, and then Titus O'Neil like starts wrecking him. He's like, nah. He's just like shoving him everywhere, and then he gets out.
Ended quickly.
Or like he went, his thing, and then he like.
Sound like a seal.
That's pretty much what it is. That's the exact sound that he makes, and then. Heath Slater, they all take him out.
Oh yeah, they pull him out. They pull him out
at
of
the
the
last
ring.
second, and then they like guard him. And then Titus O'Neil runs out and he just rams through all of them.
Yeah, Titus O'Neil took all the Social Outcasts
by running, and this most devastating finishing move, running. And then he throws him back in the ring, and then he's like, yeah, and he goes to Adam goes to Irish whip him at one point, and he's like, nah, you can't do it. And then he does it, and then, and...
Anyway, a lot of stuff happens, and then they finally distract him enough where they roll, he just ends up rolling him up. And I was like, oh my gosh, he's gonna win! 2,
3!
I was like, what?
I'm used to playing in Nakamund.
We jumped out of our seats and everything. We're like, oh my gosh, that just happened.
The rising sun, whoa, whoa,
As you can see, he was happy.
whoa.
You can't tell I like these guys a little.
Yeah, so that happened and it was freaking awesome. So after that,
Amazingness.
I think a commercial happened or something like that, and then after that, we get Dean out. I mean, they had a couple more segments where Dean Ambrose was just saying, "You know what? I'm gonna take Brock by myself. I don't need you,
Roman.
I'm gonna do this by myself." And Roman's like, "All right, go ahead. You're crazy." So he comes back out, and I'm thinking he's gonna jump him backstage or something. But I'm like, is he calling him out in the ring? And so he says a couple of things about Heyman. That was funny. And then I can't believe this show is rated PG sometimes. And
We're keeping it PG.
we're gonna keep it PG, but WWE has a hard time controlling their guys sometimes. Anyway, he finally calls him out, and finally Brock obliges and comes out and F5s the crap out of him almost immediately, beats him up.
And then Dean's just like,
See ya. No. Then Brock gets out, leaves, then turns around, and then he gets back up. Come on, give me more. Gets out there, takes some more beating, and then finally Roman Reigns comes out. And he doesn't come through the stage. He doesn't come through the crowd this time, if you didn't notice. He comes actually around the stage. And Brock turns around and looks at him. No shot.
low blow.
Elbow.
And
He's like, oh, my balls.
and dang it. But I thought we were keeping it PG.
Balls is good. When you say balls.
They said that. You know what? I think they should have. This is like a nitpick, but I think they should low blow, and then dirty deeds.
Dirty deeds afterwards. Yeah, because of that, that's all he did.
Yeah. Then
that was it.
Then he rolled out. It was like that looked kind of weak.
But it was good. It was. And so that little segment ended.
That was cool. Yeah. Then they're like, yeah, we did it. And then Dean's on the ground like, hey Roman, how you doing? I'm here.
And then he's like, you're crazy.
Then,
So that brings up our next match with League of Nations. It was what was this?
tag team.
Tag team?
Yeah.
Kalisto and
Versus the League of Nations are the two that aren't injured. Yeah.
No, there's three of them.
Nope. They're pretty much all injured. Wait.
No, Rusev and you don't even got it in the notes. What's wrong with you?
I'm sorry, I zoned out at this point.
So the next match was League of Nations versus
Luchadors,
Lucha Dragons coming back.
Yeah, Santino's back.
Santino. Yes,
That's it.
Santino. Kalisto and Santino.
No,
They
I'm
are the
sorry.
new
Shut up.
tag team.
Shut up.
As a matter of fact, I think they're planning on a heel turn where he joins the League of Nations as like an
who is
Italy
it?
branch.
Sin Cara. Gosh. Santino. Sin Cara came back. I'm sorry.
Like they got a new tag
Shut
team
up.
finisher where it's like
shut it.
Cobra into
Shut
Salida
it.
del Sol. It's great. It's great. Check it out. This match is amazing.
Yeah, I forget who wins.
League of Nations.
League of Nations won.
They I don't know, it was kind of who pinned them? I don't know. I didn't take notes. I kind of zone out when League of Nations show up.
Yeah, Barrett distracted. League of
However,
okay.
Wade Barrett did something. This is noteworthy. That is all.
He didn't wrestle.
But he did something that contributed.
He hasn't talked. I think he's just on his way out for some reason.
he-
If they don't do anything with Wade Barrett,
like ever, and it's
and I think we are the only one pointing this out, that nothing is happening with Wade Barrett.
there are a few
Nothing.
people. There are a few. I've seen it a few times, but
I've noticed it. It's like, what are they gonna do with this guy? But then after that, we have a segment with R-Truth and Goldust. This is where our guess on what that Goldust would be part of New Day's group by saying, all right, we can scratch off. So
And also Rusev.
Rusev too. We're like, okay, Rusev is still with the League of Nations, so he ain't gonna come out and do another match. They did a like offset where R-Truth went to go see Jimi Hendrix museum, and then Goldust was kind of in a wig just like Jimi Hendrix, and he goes, "Hey man, what's up?" And they do all these Jimi Hendrix references, and then he breaks his guitar. He goes, "Watch this." He goes, "Oh wait, I killed little Jimmy." where the little Jimmy thing came in, and R-Truth is like the sane one in this group.
He's just like, dude,
you're crazy.
What? Who are you? Leave me alone.
You got dookie on your foot.
And then
so these are getting quite entertaining. I hope this is gonna happen. Obviously, it's gonna happen. But I like that they're dragging it out a little bit with these little skits. I approve. I approve.
Yeah, and then Goldust gets pulled away by security. then Divas match happens, which is good. Don't scroll down. Don't scroll down. Becky Lynch versus Tamina with Sasha on commentary. Yeah, my phone crashed when I was taking notes, but
still no one cares.
But it was actually like there was plot, and there was like Tamina actually won once, and she's a jobber, and she's finally
still
becoming a thing now.
No one cares.
Sasha Banks is teaming with Becky Lynch, and shut up, I'm not cutting. No, you can't take this from me.
Okay, and then after that,
I hate you.
Then we find out in a minute. We're gonna find out who New Day picks as their tag team.
Hate you. Okay, so after much anticipation, New Day is backstage, and they finally pick their tag team partner.
And I can't believe that I missed this one. To be honest, I'm like slapping my head, like, duh.
Mark Henry.
I was like, oh yeah, Mark Henry. He's the other big guy.
Of course, and he's black, so it works. I mean, wait.
If that's what they're going for.
I mean, it's kind of a theme.
Right. It is a theme.
Black History Month. There you go.
True. There you go.
Plug. Aha.
And so they pick him, and they're like, but can you dance? And they do the little dance. I'm like, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Because I've seen Mark Henry do some funny stuff. So I know he can handle this. So they got their fourth guy.
Mm-hmm.
And they got this match.
The world's strongest unicorn. That's what they name him.
And he comes out, and of course, this never disappoints when you have a tables match.
Tables everywhere, like lined up against the wall, like coming down the ramp.
Wasn't it New Day that when the Dudleys first came back that they said they need to protect the tables and like
save the tables?
Yeah, like it was a wildlife animal or something. So anyway, this match happens, and New Day start doing really good because thanks to their new partner, Mark Henry.
Yep. He
pretty much takes everybody out by himself, and then they proceed to start to boss Mark Henry around, like do this, do this, do this, pick him up, put him over there, do this, and Mark takes exception to that.
And then, like, he's at one point, he's like, hey, splash on him. Do the splash. Like, blah. It's like, I don't follow anyone. I make my own rules. I'm Mark Henry. That's what I do. All the pain. Goodbye. Mic drop.
And he leaves.
I'm going to go see MVP. Bye.
That's where I got the world's strongest man on the back of my bag. I was wondering if you wondered. That's a tag team. That's how we got this thing. So yeah, he leaves. He just walks off. He's like sick of them, and so he leaves them hanging.
And now there's 3 on 4.
And it doesn't disappoint.
No, it doesn't.
They put both of them through it. They put
double super kicks and going everywhere.
Oh.
Double waza.
Oh yeah, they did a double was up. They hit a lot of spots. It was great. Set up the table. Big E. What did they Dudley's call that? When they use both of them to go right through the table. Is that a move or something?
3D.
3D. So they do the 3D on Big E. 3D on Big E. That's kind of cool.
Wow.
Threw him through his. It was perfect. Perfect. And then
The Dudleys turn heel.
and everybody loves it.
But it was... I don't have words to go.
And he's like, they're turning heel because they go and attack the Usos. And they put, and one of the Usos I think was legitimately hurt because he's like, my knee. I'm like, I think he's really hurt. And then,
Not another one.
and then, one of the Usos, they pick him up, throw him through the table. Then they took the guy who was hurt. He's sitting there trying to crawl off. And they throw him through a table. And then the crowd loves it. They're just blowing up. And Mr. Stewart here is like, they turn heel. I'm like, I don't think anybody cares. I think they love him. So
It's
I think it's a good move because I know Bubba, he's really good as a heel. He's really good as a guy who just doesn't take crap and talks. If you ever watch some of his stuff on, very little of the stuff I've seen on TNA, he just goes off. They let him off the hinge, and he can just tear up a mic. So I'm kind of happy. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with it.
Okay, this is what I'm gonna say. The Dudleys have been back for a while now, right?
Correct.
But now they're actually back. Like, they're back in with the storylines. They can turn face or heel. Like, when someone comes back, you don't expect them to, like, turn heel or turn face. But
Okay, so you're saying
Yeah.
they're not just here till WrestleMania.
yeah, I think
They're getting involved in yeah, because you wouldn't turn them heel, or you wouldn't waste the time to build up a storyline.
yeah.
I get what you're saying. So they're gonna stick around, you think?
Yeah.
Which they need to.
That's good.
And they need to get the Hardys back.
That would be amazing. That's going to happen. That is guaranteed to happen. Jeff Hardy said it himself in a podcast with Ric Flair.
Awesome. I can't wait. And so that was it. That was the last match of the night. And then it comes to the moment that we are all anticipating and not quite looking forward to.
Yes.
But it happened.
Yes. So, here it is, the moment that's been built up all night. Daniel Bryan's return, if you want to call it that. I do, because I miss him. And also his retirement speech. This is the third time I've had someone that I've really, really liked retire. One in Edge, the first one Shawn Michaels, and now Daniel Bryan. I will be the first to admit I cried in all three of them. Okay.
And both, I would say, Edge and Daniel Bryan really didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
And Shawn Michaels was pretty much at the end of his career, and he was just gonna. He went out with a bang, and it was good. I mean, Daniel Bryan was very generous. The whole theme of it, you can find it on YouTube. He's grateful, and he pretty much hit on all the things he was able to do. People,
you know what?
People he was able to meet. He met his wife through wrestling.
Brie Bella.
He got the championship. He was like, you guys, I'm not a normal, typical wrestler. You guys embrace me. He talked about, I think the really emotional part for me, I mean, a lot of people on Twitter was talking about when he was talking about that Crusher kid, Connor, which was, that was heartbreaking. Connor was a little boy who had cancer. They pretty much, they rallied around and they
gave him a win at WrestleMania.
Yeah, they gave him a win at WrestleMania. I mean, it was just...
It was on televised, but you know what? It should have been televised.
And when he talked about his dad, that was cool. he said his dad got to see him wrestle. He's like, you guys see where that guy's standing over there, where that guy was standing. My dad got to see his son be uplifted by you guys and chant yes, yes, yes. And he said that was the last time he seen me wrestle. And I was like, wow, that was cool. I mean, I think he's gonna. I mean, I think you get his career got cut short. I mean, look at some like Undertaker's still going.
He had a lot left in him.
I mean, his physically, as far as beside his concussions, he had a lot left. But he needs to think about himself, his health.
Family.
He wanted to start a family. He said he got a lot of giggles off of that, and then he got
wasn't expecting a "that's what she said" chant in this.
Yeah. It kind of broke up the mood. It was great. Check it out on YouTube if you want to watch it. A lot of people.
You know what? I just want to say, Daniel Bryan. Okay, he started this out. He's like, now I have to address the elephant in the room. I cut my beard
because I shaved my head. I got a haircut.
And this dude plugged a charity.
Yeah, that was for the cancer thing. And
he in his retirement speech, he plugged a charity.
Yeah, because for the kids, for the wigs. So I mean, he was just a good guy. You could just tell.
Wigs for kids. Okay, you know what? I'm plugging it too. I don't know what it is, but
we'll look it up.
Yes,
we'll get a plug in there. And it was great. I mean, it was a great speech. I mean, I watched Shawn Michaels do his. That was heartfelt, and
I watched Edge, man.
Edge
was the worst because like it came out of left field, completely out of nowhere.
He's like, I gotta quit.
Sorry.
I'm done. I'm gonna die. And that's the thing. People say this is fake. This is not real. You know what? What they're doing in there is real. They are really taking a hit. They're really getting thrown around.
There's a very real chance.
The storylines and stuff are predetermined, but those guys gotta act out there and perform. It's
amazing. Really.
They're working it. They're improvising. They're coming up with stuff. They're missing cues. They're getting dropped on their heads. They're getting their shoulders pulled out, and they're taking a beating out there for our entertainment. And when they have to say, you know what, I can't do it anymore, that's perfectly understandable. And you don't want to see him as a vegetable. Everyone's, I want him back, but
I want Daniel Bryan back. I do, but I also absolutely don't think he should come back.
Yeah, he's done. He's gonna do stuff with the WWE still. This like Edge is now on the WWE. I think that's really. Right. I'm happy for him. I'm happy for the WWE network now that they can start doing stuff like this.
Keep guys around.
Steve Austin is doing a podcast.
They got freaking Sergeant Slaughter on his new cartoon.
They got a cartoon, yeah, and I'm like, that's cool. That's doing stuff like that doesn't involve. These guys are still characters that we like, and we still want to see them do things. If it's not wrestling,
Okay. I mean, as long as the character's still there, I don't know how they're gonna do Daniel Bryan though.
He's a judge now on Tough Enough. He was.
He was.
Yeah. So if they still keep on doing Tough Enough, but I think that's all we got to say about that. We wish Daniel Bryan the best. I think he's gonna do all right. He's gonna be all right. So, so that is our end of our show, and I appreciate anybody who's watching us live. Again, we're gonna start 8:30ish, 9 on Tuesdays. We're trying to keep time. We're trying to get a production schedule, and this seems to be working for us. We're going to be doing live stream then, and then it should be up by Wednesday or Thursday. This one's going to be long, so yeah, I appreciate everybody. Look, share with somebody you like, who likes wrestling, who enjoys it. We are actually, I'm Mr. SeaWorld's father. So we're a father-son team, and we do this for fun.
What a twist.
And we just like to see your feedback. We appreciate any kind, bad or good. We are trying to get better, and we will get better as we do it. And we're just going to be consistent. That's how we're going to get better. We're just going to keep doing it and get consistent with it. So I have some great ideas for our intro. There's a cool thing. I've been watching different shows on how to do these things, and it's a lot of fun. And we do it for fun, and we hope you enjoy it. So we will see you next time. I am AI.
I'm Mr. SeaWorld.
And we will see you next time.